From the Ticats Audio Network, this is Morreale and Hitch.
All right, Hitch, David, episode number 9 of the Morreale and Hitch podcast. Time's flying. I hope you're having fun. Robbie, you having a good time?
Yeah, good day today, pal. Good day.
That's good, fella. Listen, David, who is our, we've named him executive producer, but he's really our audio editor. David, last show, I sounded like complete garbage. There was like...
What happened?
How do I sound now?
You sound perfect.
How about last week?
What did you sound like?
Garbage.
It was cracking and popping and, whatever. So we just need you to do a little better job today because we have a special guest. Rob?
Yes.
Special guest day. This is only the second time in the history of the Morreale and Hitch podcast that we've had a guest. The first time was underwhelming. It was Whitey. And, we can always do better. And this time we thought we'd dip our toe into, what the relevant topics of the day are. And we're staying in the football realm. So without getting too sentimental, we lost a legend, a champion of champions this past couple of days ago in Angelo Mosca. We were fortunate, you and I and our teammates, to get to know Ange in a little different way. There's going to be stories of Ange that live forever and some videos that live forever and some hits that live forever, etc. But Ange to us was a little different because we got to experience him as hometown kids growing up. Yeah. But we also got to have him in the locker room and shoot the shit and tell us the stories behind the stories. So with that, the gentleman, and I use that term incredibly loosely, that we've invited onto the show today, it goes by several names. The Italian Stallion, the Kissing Bandit, the, shittier version of Angelo Mosca.
Stugazzo.
So, but this guy, we just got to get him on the show. Yeah. Our good friend, the beautiful, the voluptuous, the wonderful, the untalented Mr. Adriano Belli. Let's see if he knows how to press the button to get his camera on now. Look at this. What a beautiful.
What a man.
Wow.
What a man.
Look at you guys. You haven't aged a bit.
You? Not so much, eh?
Not so much.
I got white hair now. Oh, last time I saw Ange, he had less white hair than me. So.
Yes. See, listen, Adriano, we wanted you on the show regardless. You were at the bottom of the list. But now that these things have occurred and our good friend Ange, with all due respect, Ange is a guy that needs to be celebrated. Everything he did was loud and obnoxious and in your face. And he was a genius. He was a marketing genius before there were marketing genius athletes. But you followed in his footsteps. And if there was one guy that we played with that Ange really took a liking to, it was you. So why don't you get into a little, how the hell did that happen?
Yeah, I had fun with Ange. Unlike you two prima donnas that catch the ball and pitter patter like little girls out there, he was larger than life. But he taught me when I signed with the Cats. He said, "Look, you're going to be the biggest man on the field. If you walk and talk around like a pussy, then the rest of the small guys like Hitch and Morreale are going to act like little wusses, and we're going to lose the game. So you need to be a bully out there, Belli." And that was a kind of a page I wanted to take out of his book. I really felt, a guy like him, he was an amazing player, but he made everyone around him become a bully. And you and Hitch know, the little men, they're weak and they're weak-minded. And like you guys, you're like flowers. You go where the sun is. But when a big man is causing trouble, it makes you guys have a lot more confidence. And boy, did he have confidence.
Oh, man. And did you have confidence? Never mind. Now, he had talent, which was the big difference. The big difference in this situation.
Exactly. Well, the one thing, I learned from him, he said, I think my teammates and coaches gave me a longer leash much as they did with him, because he was such a try-hard guy too.
Yeah.
And, nobody could ever dismiss how hard he would work and how he would want to just rip guys' heads off. And when you're a try-hard guy, they give you a longer leash. You can have a little bit more of a persona. I think Ange's persona was more of a tough guy than me. I was this kissing thing, and which let me get away with a lot of stuff. But I learned so much from just being around Ange, and
Well,
you guys were around him too. He was magnificent.
Yeah, I mean, Adriano, for the guys, that for people that don't know him, and I don't think not too many people do not know this guy, he was larger in life. He was an amazing guy. Coming up in 1995, and him being around the stadium at Ivory Win a lot, he did teach that, the old school gridiron, smash mouth football, go out and take the guys' heads off. And, part of me, I saw that in you. And just looking back at your career I did a little bit of research on you.
Oh my God.
You similar defensive tackle, went to University of Houston, 6'5", 290. What are you, 260 now?
I'm still 290, but
it's like a bag of milk.
Yeah,
It's
but this
built
is
like a bag
good.
of milk.
This is good because in 2000 you were drafted by the Atlanta Falcons, and then in 2001 you went to the Giants, then you went to the Las Vegas Outlaws in 2001, and still in 2001 you went to BC. Okay, so that's 4 teams in 1 year.
They mustn't have understood you. I'm assuming it was their fault, not yours.
Yeah, and then we go to 2001 and 2002. You go to Montreal. So in 2003, you leave the CFL, go to Cleveland for a cup of coffee, come back in 2003 to Montreal.
That was more like an espresso.
Small cup. 2004 to 2006, Hamilton Ticats, the best seasons you've ever had because you were with us. And just you have to face that. There's nothing else better than, you can't tell me any of those teams you went to, and I'm not finished yet. Any of those teams you went to, you didn't have as much fun as you were with us. 2006, back to Montreal. 2007, Toronto, to 2010. Then you took a year off and played Canadian national team. Was that a lie? Or did you go?
I wanted to play in that team, Adriano.
Yeah.
I wanted to play on that.
They said you had a great burst of slow. You were perfect for it, but.
Yeah, and then you finished your career in 2012. So you were like 47 teams in 12 years. And I tell you, I can honestly say I've watched you play, pal. I love you to death, but your best times were with us, and you know that.
Absolutely.
Right?
I had a lot of fun. And I remember just having Ange on the sideline when we were playing. Ange was the one guy that encouraged me to be the troublemaker and
the character. He was a character.
Yeah. Or if I got kicked out of the game, I remember getting kicked out of a game when Marshall was our coach, and Marshall and he flipped his desk on me, and I yelled at him, and he's a great guy. But I remember Ange grabbing me afterwards saying, "Don't worry about it. They love the fact that you want to just kill people for the Ticats." So he was always a great sounding voice for me there. Ange was just, he was a very large man. So in our era, they're 300-pound defensive tackles. I was 305. Johnny Scott was like a big animal on the defensive line. But I think the difference was Ange was 300, 310 pounds back in the 60s when offensive linemen were maybe 250, 260, not 320-pound offensive linemen. So he was probably having a heyday with these guys, and a very athletic guy for an Italian.
Well, God bless these Italians. Look, we have 3 Italians on this show: yourself, myself, and Rob Hitchcock. And is there, when you got an Italian that grew up in Boston, Massachusetts, in the bad part of town, goes to Notre Dame, doesn't go to the NFL, comes to the CFL, and walks down the street, 24-inch waist, big shoulders, big hands, big mitts, and you'll remember this. He used to say that he was the cock of the walk. Everywhere he went, he owned this town. Don't kid anybody. Hitch and I had a good run. Yeah. But Ange Mosca owned the town.
Yeah, and I remember him walking in the locker room, and he still seemed like the biggest man in the room, and he was in his 70s or 60s. Right? Yeah. He came to my family factory when when the Ticats were courting me, and he was the one guy that said, "You're coming with us," and he was sure to flirt with my mom, my Irish mom.
Did you have to give him a side of beef?
Yeah, actually, we took care of Anjan, but he was just amazing. I had a chance to go see him a couple of years ago in the hospital with Marwan Hitch, and it was sad because this disease is you could have problems wrong with your body, but when you have your mind playing tricks on you, it's a bit sad. And he felt like we were guys that he may have played with, and that was for a moment there. I felt like, I would have loved to play with Ange, so we went along with it. But what a great soldier, and somebody that I molded everything I tried to do off of what he did.
That was great words. He's definitely going to be missed.
We're going to remember him in all the right ways, right? He was exactly what he was. Like, he didn't sugarcoat. There was no hiding who he was. No. He was that guy. He's going to talk to you no different if he was on this show or if he was in front of it. He talked to you the same way. There was no hiding. Now, we got a little inside. We were able to get more of the behind the scenes with him because we were part of the brethren, right? And that was the fun part for me.
I remember he used to say to me all the time, he said, with Danny Mac, we can win a championship, but with guys like Hitch and me, we're never going to get there. You and Danny Mac, we can really do something, but we got to get rid of those two choochers.
Well, it took them a while, but they finally got rid of us, buddy. Yeah. It was a matter of time. Yeah. It was a matter of time.
I think one of the great stories with him is when he used to tell us about the stories about when he had the Grey Cup, and it wasn't the big Grey Cup, it was the smaller cup back in the 60s. And he said, if that cup could talk, and I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, you don't even have any idea. I said, well, we had an idea. He goes, no, you don't. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to know. But wow.
I got those stories firsthand. I know what he's talking about. Very proud of that.
He says, you don't drink out of that, right? You don't drink out of the top of that, right? I said, oh, we did. He goes, oh, okay.
That's the beautiful thing about the Grey Cup. It's truly a Canadian trophy, and it's for the Canadians. I mean, every time we've won the cup, it's for the fans. Some of these other cups, like the Stanley Cup and other trophies, it's for the players. But every player gets to have the Grey Cup and take it and spend time with family. And I remember clearly the stories that Ange told me about, the fun he had with the cup. And you see some of the pictures.
Polaroids. Hey, listen, I know you don't have much time, Adriano. We appreciate you coming on, but tell us, Fresh House, what's this all about? Your new factory, what's going on with that?
Yeah, so I've been in the meat business my whole life with our family, and my brother and I just opened a new factory in Georgetown.
Nice.
Georgetown's just northeast of Brampton, and we do same type of things: meatballs, sausages, stuff that Morreale's familiar with.
Speaking of familiar with, what behind you is some sort of gym apparatus. Yeah, There's no way you're familiar with what's behind you.
Actually, we had it put into the factory here when we moved in, but I don't do weights. I never did weights. I never worked out. You guys remember?
You just ran. You ran on the treadmill at like 14. I think the highest speed. You ran on that for about 40 seconds at a time. Well, I couldn't believe you were doing that at 300 pounds, actually.
I think he was naked when he did that.
He was naked.
By the way. Or maybe a jockstrap. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned, I'm one of those players that played for so many teams. And you guys both played for the same team. You went back and forth with Toronto, I believe. Ange was with the same team for practically his whole career. And there's something to be said for that. So speaking from a guy who played on all these teams, there's envy of playing your whole career like you, Hitch. That's amazing what you did. One of the last times I got a chance to speak with Ange, when I came back in 2012 for the 100th Grey Cup, and they brought me back to get a few series in each game.
Yeah,
I got kicked out of the last.
I remember that.
Which was fitting. And Ange called me like the next week, and he said, "You son of a bitch." And I said, "What's going on, Ange?" He said, "You broke my record." I said, "What are you talking about?" So you got kicked out of 13 games.
No, he was 12.
I think I don't know what it was, but
I could just hear the names he called you to. Everything.
Well,
I can't wait till you're older and we're at some Grey Cup and you have a cane and somebody, one of the quarterbacks that you didn't like and didn't like you, name them. There's a laundry list, comes after you, and a bow.
Yeah. So I was working with Sportsnet that year that happened, and I was in Vancouver, and I had breakfast with Ange that morning, and Ange was on edge, and I knew something was going to go down. So
yeah,
I wish I was there because I would have taken him down with Ange.
Absolutely. Now listen, I know you got to go. You were speaking about envy and being envious of Ange, and it got me thinking about how the penis envy you have between Hitch and I, because you were between us in lockers, and not everybody is graced with but you had to suffer in the middle. It was like it was unfair. It was really unfair to you.
The ottoman.
Yeah, you were like an ottoman. Like things just sat on other things.
It was deflating. Look at me. I take my shirt off. I'm completely ripped, 300 pounds. I looked beautiful. But then my locker was next to both you guys, and it was like the ammunition you guys had was beautiful. And I used to love when the reporters would come in and see you guys. And
oh yeah,
kick
him, slap, boom, everything.
we certainly had some fun.
We were blessed to have you as a teammate, and even though you only spent a handful of years, to me, you'll be a teammate for everybody. It felt like you were part of the institution. We love every minute. I can't wait to see that beautiful face again. Give you a big kiss.
I can't wait to see you guys at Grey Cup, and let's have a party and a toast to Ange because he was the best of us.
Absolutely.
I will see you there, Adriano. Mike will not be in town.
Okay. Well, he's not a true Ticat fan.
He's not.
Oh,
he's
barely not.
I'll come and pick some meatballs and some meat up first that week, and then then we'll go together, pal.
And when are you going to sponsor the show? Why don't you sponsor the show? It takes nothing to sponsor the show because we're just going to say whatever.
Whatever you want, I'll do everything. It's cutting out now. I can't.
Is there something?
Right now.
You can't.
Okay. I love you.
You've learned well from Marwan Hage. Marwan Hage has taught you well. Cheers, buddy. God bless.
See you, buddy.
Later, brother. It was always good to see Adriano.
Oh, he is a beauty.
What a champ. And it's good to talk about Ange and to smile and to bring some levity to it because, these are not easy situations. And we remember him as this big strapping strong, legend, both CFL and Ticat. And we love him. We miss him. And we'll never forget him. I mean, I think that's probably the end of the story, right? For you and I, he just can't be forgotten. No,
he never will be. And he was, I went to his house a couple times way back in the day, even when I was playing. He was living in Niagara-on-the-Lake, and just, what front door wide open for you. Come on in and talk. And he was a mentor for a lot of people. And I know when Adriano speaks of how highly he spoke of Ange, he truly felt that because Ange really pulled him in the reins and said, hey, you are like me. You got to go out there and just destroy guys, and don't worry if you get kicked out of the game. It's not about the team; it's about you right now. And I remember him saying all that stuff. But he's definitely going to be missed. That's for sure.
Well, in true kind of Ange Mosca fashion, we just got to keep moving forward, right? And see what we can do. Lots of good things happen at Ticat land, right? They're in that now game coming up this weekend where they can. At least get into a tie with Toronto. So a massive game in Toronto. That's going to be exciting. That's going to shape the showdown for the playoff run as that comes, which is coming quick. I can't believe the season's basically a week or two from being over, maybe a little bit less. Yeah. So that's exciting. So there's a lot of great, exciting things going on there. And what else is what's new? What was you called the last game from the sidelines there? You were doing that?
Yeah, it was great. It was a good game. BC, they handled BC pretty good, but I tell you, there was a few times, just standing behind the bench, listening to the D coming off and trying to do some different adjustments because Riley was just the first series kind of, I think it was 8 or 9 minutes. They had control of that ball, just little in passes, little flares, little runs, and they took 8 minutes off the clock, and I think they got a field goal, but they came off, and the D was really, a couple of words were used that we're playing too soft. And they definitely were playing a little bit soft because, Riley did end up going up, I think 4 or 5 series, they ended up going down and scoring points off that. So, they know that they can't play defense like that, because if they do in the playoffs, it's not going to be a long run. So, it's tough where offense is doing pretty well and the D was slacking a bit, but then they came up on a bunch of plays. They made an interception, and special teams was good. So, they're getting healthy now. So I'm looking forward to this week in Toronto. It's the biggest game. It's basically for first place. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's exciting. It's going to lead into a great Grey Cup week coming up December. What's that? The middle of December. So lots of cool stuff on the horizon.
Yeah.
What's next, man?
It's funny. I got a text message from Kyle Walters, who's the GM, of course. If whoever doesn't know, Stick is the GM, played with us for a bunch of years up with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And he sent me a text during the game when I was on the sidelines. I guess TSN did a little thing on me because Simone Lawrence was 8 tackles away, and he got 2 that game. So he's still, I think he's 6 off my all-time lead. But he says to me, if we run the show and we get to the Grey Cup, we're staying at your place. And I said, oh yeah? He goes, I said, you're the GM. Don't you have a room? No, we're staying at your house. I said, okay, you're more than welcome.
I think people don't understand, we talk about, we talk about other players on other teams, and fans that listen be like, how can you talk about an O'Shea or anyone else that would have played Kyle Walters? They're the opposition. But in the CFL, everybody's the same. Everybody is part of the same team. Like, we all go out and beat each other, but we all go out and have a drink after too at the same time. But we got to get some guys. Adriano brought up a name that we've thought about, I'm sure, in Marwan Hage. Getting Marwan on would be a fun time, because Marwan is a special dude.
Yeah, also a Tim Hortons owner.
A Tim Hortons owner. So between him and Grigor, who he's not ghosting us, by the way. Grigor does want to come on, but he wants to come on kind of as he's driving and on the way. We want to get him so we can have a nice conversation, see him on camera, and have fans have a chance to see and hear what he's up to.
See his leather face.
Just see it all. Just see it all, buddy.
See everything.
Just see it all. Oh man.
So what else? What else going on? How's your day?
It's good. Yeah. Day's good. Getting ready. Lots of exciting stuff happening on my end. The weather's been beautiful. So finishing up a backyard project, getting that done, and looking, I'm getting a little sad though, because I'm getting all these requests for the festivities at Grey Cup. Hey, can you come join us here? Hey, can you partake in this here? And I'm not going to be there. Yeah. And it kind of, the only thing that the saving grace for me, and no, not knowing who's going to be in the game, but the only saving grace for me is that I know they're going to get a chance to do it over again in 2023. We've talked about that a few times. Yeah. But when I think back to Grey Cups, there's so many awesome memories. Never mind as a player, but going there as a fan. And I can think of many trips to Grey Cups all over this country where we just had a blast, whether it's the Spirit of Edmonton or the other, the Ticat parties, or, having, meeting your buddies and the former teammates for drinks and food and you name it, media days. It's been, and it will continue to be a go-to event. Something just popped up and I got to tell the story. Were you not with us? I think it was me, you, Greg, I don't know, went to Edmonton when we went down to Danny
Edmonton.
Mac too, I think.
Danny Mac. We all went down to that. And do you remember? I'm not going to say who, but we stayed in that hotel, the round one.
I know the Crown Plaza, buddy. I know exactly where this is going.
And we got out. We had a few drinks one night, all of us. And I'm not going to say who out of there was about 13 guys. Maybe there was 4, but 14. We'll say there's 14. We got out of the elevator, and back then, they had in front of the elevators, they had those round, the garbage, but at the top of it was an ashtray.
With the sand, the stamp.
The sand and the stamp was in it. So one of the guys who didn't make it to the bathroom decided to take a shit in the top of that sand, like a cat in the sand. Remember what happened? We go to the rooms. We look through the window or through the eye thing, the peepholes. We have like 4 rooms because it's round. You can see right in. People came through there and they're looking around. They didn't see it at first. They looked around.
You didn't have to see it, buddy. You didn't have to see it.
It was. There's no cameras back then. Like, someone would have got pinched. But that they could not make it to the room. I said, "You guys, you got to be kidding me! You could not
Somebody
make it
beached
to your."
it. Somebody just beached it on top of the sand. It was not like you're not looking at either one of them.
No.
But there was beached. But when the ding, all I can remember looking through the people, the both of us, through one people, trying to figure out what's going on. And all you hear is ding, and the doors would open, and people come off to be like, Jesus, what in the hell? It would just floor them. It was, I don't know what poor individual had to fix that. But yes, I do recall that particular event. As a matter of fact, it was the same trip that, we would go and we would light it up. We'd have not just us, everybody. We'd meet guys from other teams that weren't playing, and we'd have a good time, go out. And we left 2 days before the game. Like, we're like, okay, no, we got to tap out. Like, we cannot be here any longer. Like, we just physically can't.
I think we left the Sunday morning early because we stayed the Saturday night for the festivities, went home Sunday morning early
to catch the game at home.
Catch a game at home. And they were all the guys, what do you mean you're not going to the Cup? You're not going to the game? No, we're not playing in it, so we're not going to it. So no.
We were tapped out, though.
Oh,
we were tapped out.
Yeah, we were tapped out.
But it was fun times because all those Grey Cups, when I was involved with the Players Association, we always had our meetings there too, right? So you had all those players that weren't playing in the game, that were down. There was at our players party, we had all these other events going on. But I mean, every place you went to, there was action, right? There was something going on, and somebody offering you a drink or a chance to dance or party or whatever it may be. The media rooms we went into, and the reporters' rooms that they still talk about to this day, and man, it just that's what hurts when I know what I'm going to be missing. That's the part that I'm like, oh man, that's what the memories are.
Hey, you're gone
10th,
the 10th, right?
Yeah.
What
10th
day is
to
that?
16th.
What day is that?
Good
Thursday?
question. I think it's a Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Maybe it's a Thursday.
Hey, producer, what day is that?
Pretty sure it's a Friday.
Sure.
10th is a Friday.
Okay. Grey Cup's the 12th. That's a Sunday.
Hey, there you go.
All right, now see that? Yeah, it's perfect. So I'm supposed to be going to Arizona for a little bit of strat planning meetings on the Sunday, which was I think the 6th. I think I don't even know what it is, but anyways, I'm coming back on the Thursday night because it's a 5-hour flight and 3-hour time difference. Even if I leave in the morning, I still don't get back till like 6 at night.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Friday and Saturday, and I've been asked a bunch of stuff to do through our alumni and then some stuff with TSN. So I will do that Friday and Saturday probably, and probably go to the game Sunday. Hopefully they're in it, and maybe I don't want to work the sidelines. David, wherever, I got to talk to David and tell him I don't want to do the sidelines. I want to watch the game. I don't want to sit there on the side.
Oh yeah, you got to experience that. No, that'll be good. I'll be watching from far away, and hopefully find a way to watch it. In this day and age, I'm sure I'll find a station or a stream or something to watch it. But yeah, man, it's going to be a good time. The Cats are picking up speed just when they need to. The pandemic we seem to be getting back a little bit more normal, and it's going to make for an awesome Grey Cup. So for those who haven't got tickets, if there even is tickets available, which I got to be honest, I don't know. There wasn't a lot to begin with, right? Only about 5,000. 5,000.
That was it. So they got to be sold out.
They got to be
right now. What people are doing, you know what happens, right? If their team doesn't get in, they buy them now and then they sell them for double. So
but the last time that the Grey Cup was played in Hamilton, 1996, I was very fortunate to be on the team that won the Grey Cup. It was quite the amazing moment for me because I grew up as you did, going to Ivor Wynn, playing high school there, watching games there. So although it was the wrong uniform, being able to play in a Grey Cup, in my second year in Hamilton on the field that I wanted to play on was amazing. Yeah. So, lots of great memories from the last time. And think about how long the Hamilton fans have waited from 1996 to 2021. Yeah. I mean, that's 25 years, no Grey Cup. This one's going to be a modified version to some respect.
Yeah.
But boy, is it ever going to be good to have Grey Cup 2021, Grey Cup 2023.
Oh, it's fitting, right? You're right. We gave it to Hamilton, awarded them 2 years now and the next 3. So they deserve it. At the new stadium, the amenities at the stadium, and in 96, I remember going downtown, and they had, right by Jackson Square, they had like a big tent, and it wasn't even close to the stadium. It was like Jackson Square area, and they closed off Gore Park a bit. It didn't, I don't know, it didn't feel like a true Grey Cup back in 96 for you guys, of course, because you guys were playing in it. But for us getting knocked out of it and not being able to play, we went to the game. I was there. The snow.
Did you wear a shirt?
Was great. No, I had it off. No shirt. Snowing. My wife was with me. She met me about 8 months before. I had a purple uniform, this purple speed skating kind of tights. It was all one tight, all one fitting thing. And I took it off, and I had no shirt on, of course.
You had a unitard. It
was good, though. It was cold, but we drank.
What's going on with your Weber State buddies? How's that team going?
I just looked them up the other day, and I saw win, and then lose, loss. I think they're 5-4, 6-4. So I don't think they're making, like, the Big Sky Conference right now is totally different than when we played. There was like Montana, Boise State, NAU, and now there's like Colorado, and there's a bunch of different, there's like 9 teams in it now, and I think there's only 6 when I played. So yeah, they're doing okay. And Mac's doing okay, I hear.
No, they're out of the playoffs now. You heard wrong. No, they had a, I would say, they were high ranked going into this year. They were like top 2. I think they still remained in the top 10, but they, if I'm not mistaken, were 3-4, 4-3, missed the playoffs. So not typical of a Stefan Potasic coach team. But I mean, again, we don't live in typical times. You had lots of teams like Windsor beating teams, and then York beating teams, and everybody had a kind of thing. But I think a lot of people don't know. Or maybe you can refresh their memory. When you went to Weber, you went with a bunch of local guys, right?
Yeah. So Trevor Shaw, a buddy of mine who played with the Cats and went to high school with them, he went down there first in, I think it was 1989. And then Obi Spanek from Cathedral was going down the same year as I went down. And then there was a guy from Burlington, Pat McNerney, who went from Chicago, he went from Burlington to there. And then we had 7 Canadians on that team at once. And that's pretty good when you look at, a university that has, I think we had 46 scholarships. So we were a Division I AA school back then. And the only difference between a 1A school and 1 AA school was about 20 scholarships. That's what made made the big schools better. But having said that, we had 7 guys, and you're taking away, 7 scholarships from even in-state guys. And so you have to be, we had to be that much better than those in-state guys. So, and plus Steve Bruno.
I was going to say that's the connection to you and I, because Steve was recruiting me to Weber at the same time he was recruiting you to Weber, but he was also recruiting me to Mac.
Yeah, because he was head coach at Mac, and I couldn't get into Mac with my grades. That's why I went down to Weber. See, you went there because you got it. You should have came to Weber. What the hell?
I didn't know. I didn't know.
You don't know. You come home twice a year. In the end,
it all works out the same way. We all ended up in the same spot. But part of me wishes I would have dipped my toe into the U.S. side now, when I had the chance, just to see, because all the guys that we played with, for the most part, would tell us, and not just about you and I, but about other Canadians, that guys, not a big difference. I mean, there's some positional differences, right? There's some size differences on the O-line and defensive line. Maybe in the linebacker position, but truthfully, skills guys can translate back and forth. Anyways, that's water under the bridge. We're old now.
Yeah.
We don't attempt anything athletic too much anymore. You still play some hockey.
Yeah.
But listen, today was a good day. Today was a chance to reminisce about Ange, to bring on our good friend Adriano, to talk a bit about the upcoming season. And I don't know. You got anything else going on?
No, I think we're going to get another guest on, maybe Grigor next week. Nice. And you know what? Ange, rest in peace, pal. Love you, man.
We love you, buddy. We love you. That's it for today from Robbie, David, myself, and everybody at Ticats Audio Network. You'll be ever and forever in our hearts, Ange, and certainly in our minds. So it was awesome getting to know you. That's it for today. We'll talk to everybody soon. Have a great week.
See you guys.
Morreale and Hitch, dropping every Wednesday. Subscribe, like, laugh.